Our warm congratulations to Mr. Joseph Cromie, OAM. Thank you so much for being with us tonight, sir. What a remarkable Australian. Ladies and gentlemen, let us acknowledge and pay respect to the Gadigal peoples of the Eora Nation, on whose land we're celebrating tonight's 32nd Ethnic Business Awards. We thank elders past, present and emerging for the privilege of meeting here to share stories of diversity in business success. Let us also pay respect to the knowledge embedded forever within the Aboriginal custodianship of country and extend that respect to the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people who are with us here tonight.
And now, please be upstanding for the National Anthem of Australia.
Australians, oh, let us rejoice, for we are one and free. We've golden soil and wealth for toil, our home is girt by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty rich and rare. In history's page let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains then let us sing, advance Australia fair.
From the Grand Ballroom of the Four Seasons Hotel in Sydney, Australia, it's the 32nd Annual Ethnic Business Awards. Please welcome to the stage your host for this evening, multiple Walkley Award-winning author, journalist and broadcaster, Tracy Spicer, AM.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, honoured guests, welcome. What an opening, what a voice. How about another huge round of applause for the immensely talented James Doig. I've got to say, it's wonderful to see all of you here in the room for real. For 2 years, 2020 and 2021, we've been kept apart. But tonight, the Ethnic Business Awards Foundation has brought us all back together again. And things are only going to get bigger, better and brighter. And how do I know that? Well, to start with, we have 12 uplifting stories from our bold, bright and brilliant finalists. Stories selected from more than 350 nominations. And best of all, our 12 finalists are all here in the room and not on Zoom. I don't know about you, but I've been feeling a little bit undergroomed and over-zoomed over the last 2 years. But we wouldn't be able to celebrate their success without the assistance of the Ethnic Business Awards Foundation and our generous sponsors. The finalists here with us tonight have enjoyed free luxury travel, transfers and top-of-the-line accommodation. The winner of each category will receive an exquisite crystal trophy, a cheque for $10,000 from Arab Bank Australia, and the honour to join an alumni that includes some of the most extraordinary business minds right across the country. Now, in Joseph's book, In Someone Else's Shoes, he references how Australia really is a mirror to the world. He says, "I hope that we will always be adding more colours, different threads, new patterns, all beautifully interwoven. That's how we'll keep this mirror sparkling and alive." Well, the Ethnic Business Awards is holding up that mirror tonight to 12 Australian business successes. And that's the whole purpose of tonight when you think about it. It's to let that mirror reflect the threads, the patterns, the colour, the energy of what is already an impressive interwoven tapestry. A tapestry of diversity that includes every culture and excludes none. So now, what better way to start toward a bright future than by visiting our wonderful past?
The Ethnic Business Awards, coming of age tonight, have long been a feature of our splendid multicultural landscape. They pay tribute to the extraordinary achievement and contribution of people born on shores other than our own.
Post-war migration began as our nation's greatest experiment, and it has become our nation's greatest success. Because as migrants, we accepted that in a new land we shouldn't only take but give as well. And yes, it's worked. Immigration has worked.
Diversity creates unity. That unity, born of diversity, creates opportunity. Multiculturalism is Australia's competitive advantage in the global marketplace.
As Australians, we pride ourselves on our ethnic diversity, our innovation, our entrepreneurship, and of course, excellence. And it's these very qualities that are celebrated tonight through the Ethnic Business Awards.
For those of you who are here tonight as finalists in these Ethnic Business Awards, it is a great thing that you are here. You are our automatic bridge to the world. And so much that we do in commerce, in export, in import, in trade and investment. You form such natural, wonderful, diverse, fluent, culturally sensitive human bridges to the rest of the world that you are for us an enormous national strength.
It's not possible to think of the economic growth of Australia over the last 30 or 40 years without thinking of the massive contribution that have been made by the group loosely called ethnic Australians to the development of our country.
We're taking the chance to highlight the tremendous achievements and efforts of some Australians who've come to this country, have not started with the natural advantage of knowing it, and have done things that are special, which we can all identify with and which we can all celebrate. And that's really, I think, what the Ethnic Business Awards are about.
I am never prouder of Australia than on a night like tonight, which exemplifies everything that is good about our country. The migrant story lends a heroic dimension to our national life. That's what we celebrate, and that is at the heart of the Australian story.
This country is an immigration success story without parallel, and we should be enormously proud of what we have all achieved. It's also wonderful to see that the Ethnic Business Awards have embraced our first Australians. There is a spirit of entrepreneurship sweeping across so many Indigenous communities, and it's fantastic to know that that's being recognised. The story of this country is one of great optimism, overcoming all challenges. And at the end of the day, I think that's what we're celebrating tonight.
really is amazing, isn't it? 32 years and still going strong. Thank you, everyone, here tonight, in the present, and those in the past, for joining us in celebrating the outstanding accomplishments of both migrant and Indigenous entrepreneurs. And welcome once again to tonight's 32nd Ethnic Business Awards. You know, the other day, Joseph Asif, you would know him well, author, the founder of these awards, was remarking how in the 32 years since they began, we've received more than 21,000 nominations. Can you believe that? That's 21,000 businesses that have succeeded against the odds and contributed to the strength of this great nation. People from all over the globe, from all walks of life, they came here as refugees, as business migrants, sponsored workers or familial migrants, and they all, in their own way, have been nation builders. 30% of Australian businesses are started by migrants like them, and the Ethnic Business Awards has been celebrating their achievements and success since 1988. A decade ago, however, Joseph, in his wisdom, who always believes that diversity includes every culture and excludes none, created an Indigenous in Business Award category to also recognise the excellence and celebrate business endeavours by Australian Indigenous and Torres Strait Islander entrepreneurs. Their amazing stories are incredibly inspiring and deserve to be told. We have 3 more fantastic finalists in that category here with us tonight, and I'm sure that they, like all of us, are delighted to be joined by so many dignitaries here this evening, and you would have seen some of them on that video clip earlier. Please do me a favour and hold your applause until the end, because there are quite a few we are incredibly honoured tonight. A sincere welcome to the Honourable Scott Morrison MP, Prime Minister of Australia, the Honourable Anthony Albanese MP, Leader of the Opposition. We also have the Honourable Alex Hawke, Minister for Immigration, the Honourable Ken Wyatt, Minister for Indigenous Australians, Senator the Honourable Zed Seselja, Minister for International Development and the Pacific, the Honourable Tony Burke, Manager of Opposition Business, and the Honourable Anthony Roberts, New South Wales Minister for Planning and Homes. We also warmly welcome here tonight our ambassadors. His Excellency Dr. Ali Kreishan, Ambassador of the Hashemite Kingdom of Jordan and Dean of the Diplomatic Corps. His Excellency Thomas Dubb, Ambassador of the Czech Republic. Her Excellency Betty Bernadica Pavelic, Ambassador of the Republic of Croatia. And His Excellency Mr. Milan Rad, Ambassador of Lebanon. We also have Mr. Charbel Macaron, Consul General of Lebanon, Mr. Manish Gupta, Consul General of India, Mr. Avika Glasnovic, Consul General of Croatia, and Ms. Zuzana Slovakova, Consul General of the Czech Republic. Also in attendance this evening we have General the Honourable Sir Peter Cosgrove, Member of the EBA Judging Panel, the Honourable Tony Abbott, Member of the EBA Board, the Honourable Philip Ruddock and the Honourable Christopher Pine. Would you please join me in a huge round of applause to welcome all of our wonderful dignitaries. We now turn our attention to tonight's 3rd and final set of nominees, the Henry Ney Medium to Large Business category for companies with an average annual turnover in excess of $10 million. As with the other divisions, finalist nominations have been evaluated on hardship endured, growth, competition, ingenuity and success. Again, I present the finalists to you in no particular order, but I am going to start with a man whose story is one of remarkable endurance. Joseph Cromie OAM is the founding director of the Jack Group and Joseph Cromie Wines, based in Launceston, Tasmania. Joe was 19 and a butcher when he escaped Czechoslovakia in 1950. Envisaging Australia as an optimistic country and wanting to get as far away from conflict and communism as possible, he settled in Tasmania. Fast forward 70 years and he's created new international markets for Tasmanian food, wine and tourism.
My name is Joseph Cromie. My company, the JAC Group, and Joseph Cromie Wine.
And my name is Dean Cocker. I'm Joe's grandson and Managing Director of the JAC Group.
I come from Czech Republic.
Well, Joe's from Czechoslovakia, which is now the Czech Republic. So Joe suffered a stroke in 2005. Basically the whole right side of his body was paralysed. He had to relearn how to walk, how to talk. As you can see, you know, his speech is affected, but he's pushed himself out there with his business career and continued on for the past 15 years, still able to do some remarkable projects. He comes into the office 5 days a week, and on the weekends he's constantly, you know, thinks up ideas. For Joe, work is his hobby. He's 90 years old. Joe grew up from the age of 8 to 19 under 11 years of successive Nazi and Soviet occupation and oppression in Czechoslovakia. So he saw no future under communism, and under communism also he couldn't have a business, and he dreamed of having his own business. He escaped across a border. It was guarded by minefields and soldiers with dogs. Fortunately, Joe was able to get through, but his two friends were captured, and one was shot in the legs trying to escape, and the other one he never heard from again.
I'm very happy we got to Australia.
He basically went to the end of the world, which is Railton in northwest Tasmania. He married my grandmother, and then shortly after they started in 1957 a new business together called Continental Small Goods. It grew to become the largest private employer, the meat business that Joe had in Tasmania, 540 employees, and when it was floated on the Australian Stock Exchange in 1993. Joe set up an investment group, which was the JAC Group, and then he invested into the Tasmanian wine industry and also into property development. So lots of subdivisions, residential subdivisions, commercial developments, and this hotel here, the Charles, the Pennyroyal Hotel and Apartments, a beautiful development and Tasmania's only theme park, and a company offered him a price too good to refuse. That's when he invested in Joseph Cromie Wines and set up a new vineyard and winery that was under his own name. It's got a very good team of winemakers there. So there's 3 tiers of wine. The entry level, which is the casual, easy drinking style, is Pepic, which is Joe's nickname. Then there's the Joseph Cromie brand, it's the main brand. And then above that we have Zdar, Z-D-A-R, which is basically the name of Joe's hometown, and the word Zdar means success, or things worked out well.
It's the best Chardonnay in the world there.
The 2011 Chardonnay for Joseph Cromie won the best Chardonnay in the world at the Decanter World Wine Awards, which is held in London in the Albert Hall. The business is worth some hundreds of millions of dollars now. So it really has grown dramatically. And our task, is into the future to turn this into $1 billion company.
When I have a new home and happy. Yeah.
Happy, happy, happy. He's said it all. Joseph Cromie of the JAC Group and Joseph Cromie Wines. What a story, escaping over the border of the former Czechoslovakia. Just wow, I have no words sometimes. Incredible. And now, from some of the pleasures in life, wine, to one of the comforts in life, air conditioning. It was 1980 when Ken Thang Lam and his elder sister arrived in Australia from Vietnam via a refugee camp in Indonesia. They had nothing but the clothes on their back and the belief that honesty and commitment would be rewarded by success in all walks of life. It's a philosophy that certainly paid off, and Ken Thang Lam is now Director of Blue Star Air Conditioning in Lansvale, New South Wales. Let's listen to Ken's story.
My name is Ken Thang Lam and people call me Ken. My company name is Blue Star Air Conditioning, trade as Blue Star Electric. Our company specializes in design, supply, install, and service air conditioning for domestic and for commercial. I come from South Vietnam. After 1975, we have lost the war to the communists of North Vietnam. My father advised me to flee the country. I was 19. I have a few clothes and some dry rice, searching for freedom and opportunity. I fled Vietnam. I was on the ocean for 7 days and 8 nights on a little boat. The second day we have pretty big wave. I got seasick. We get to the refugee camp on a little island which belonged to Indonesia. There was nothing on the island. We have to do what we can to survive. The biggest challenge for me to deal at that time is just the homesick. I miss my family. Sorry. On the 13th of January 1979, that was the day that I have arrived in Australia. I didn't even have any money on me. They took me to a hostel. That's where I stayed 6 months before I found a job. After 4 years working in an electrical contracting, finally I met Dong. He was in air conditioning industry as well, and we decided to open a small showroom. Since then, we worked very hard. Every day after I closed the shop, I went out and kept working on installations. Most of the time, I don't get home just before midnight. After 2.5 years, we have saved big money. So we actually repurchased that warehouse and make a bigger showroom. Now we have about 35 staff. We started with very little money. We was renting the shop only for $350 per week. That's include everything. that's the cheapest shop that I can afford back then. But now, from the report of our accountant, I think we up to about $45 million of turnover. The greatest achievements for me, my son, they are in the business. I have a good wife who gives me a lot of support. I'm very happy with my current living standard. I don't drive luxury car. We are very blessed, and since Australia is our home, Australia is a lucky country. I came here without anything. I got nothing. If I can do it, I think other people can too.
Ken Thang Lam of Blue Star Air Conditioning, 7 days floating on the ocean, and now runs a multi-million-dollar business. What an incredibly moving story. Our next finalist is Maha Magabale, CEO of Easy Mart, Sydney, New South Wales. Arriving from Jordan in 2001, Maha was in Australia studying for a postgraduate business degree when he was offered the chance to invest in a Bondi Beach milk bar. He accepted and converted it into a convenience store. And now, 380 stores later, I can't wait to hear how he did it. Let's have a look.
My name is Maher Magable and the company name Easy Mart. Easy Mart is a convenience store and mainly is a small grocery store. I come from Jordan. My father, he was pushing me to come to Australia because my brother and cousins study here in Australia. I was early 20s. I study business management and public relations. It is been hard, different for me. I had to study and work at the same time and teaching Taekwondo, and I had to study completely in English. When I came to Australia, I've been offered a milk bar in Bondi Beach, and I went, we met with them, I decided to take it and buy in the shop. The milk bar was called Bondi Plus, and very old, even the machinery, the fridges, the shelvings, very old, like as a corner shop. And when I took over the shop, we started cleaning the shop for almost over 36 hours. And all the customers, they coming and say, wow, the shop is looking nicer and cleaner and much better than before. One of the 7-Eleven closed down in one of the busy area in King's Cross in Sydney. And I said, how come that 7-Eleven is closing down? The area is busy. And I called one of the business people here to help me get a guarantor to the lease, and we open it as a partnership with him. And the shop, when we starting, became very busy. And even like before that, many people, they said, oh, it's not gonna work because 7-Eleven closed down. But after we open it and it's working, give me more confidence. My decision was right, and the way how we work in the shop and we running the business, and give me more confidence and starting opening more stores. After 2012, we started opening in Interstate, Queensland, and Victoria, and Adelaide, Canberra, and the people, they starting notice the name in everywhere, not just in New South Wales or Sydney company. It's a national company. And yeah, like starting, the people like seeing any convenience store, they call it Easy Mart. I think the distribution center is adding more value for the company and making us grow, mainly because we importing a product from overseas, and to be the first people have it arrange it in the stores. Easy Mart become so successful because we catering for the area. And we always have something new in the shops, and we have different range than other convenience store, other supermarket, and local supermarket. Easy Mart now is the largest standalone convenience store in Australia. We have about 400 stores in all the states in Australia. It has been growing every 5 years, about double the business how it was before. Easy Mart is a family business, and about 400 family live from the company. I love to see Easy Mart everywhere in the world. Australia is a lovely place and very safe. There is a system in place, is helping giving everybody his right, and it's an amazing environment for business. I wish the day is more than 24 hours, because too many things we can do in life.
Maha Magable from Easy Mart, and he wishes the day was more than 24 hours. That is terrific ambition, isn't it? The fourth and final nominee in the Ethnic Business Awards, Henry Ney, medium to large business category, is from North Sydney, here in New South Wales. CEO of One Stop Warehouse, Anson Zhang, was 22 when he moved to Australia as a student. He was 31 when he went into business, and 37 when he and One Stop Warehouse co-founder Jeff received 2 Business News Australia awards in the manufacturing, wholesale and distribution category, Sydney Young Entrepreneurs and Australian Young Entrepreneurs for 2019. Originally from Fujian, China, a man whose business mantra is always do more and talk less, let's meet Mr. Anson Zhang.
My name is Anson Zhang, and my company name is One Stop Warehouse. One Stop Warehouse is a solar distributor. Our slogan of the One Stop Warehouse is Be Clean and Be Green. They are distributing all the solar panels, inverter, and all the accessory for solar installation. Originally, I come from China. I was 22 years old. I was very curious of the Western culture and lifestyle, and living in a foreign land. Australia is appealing as good place and then for a different culture, giving everyone a fair chance to living in the middle to upper class, lifestyle. The English is not my mother tongue, and I study English for 3 months in a short course in the language school, and then I study in UTSF for MBA course. How I start up in this business was a stroke of luck actually. In the early stage, same as everyone starting from scratch. We start with only 100,000, which is my own money because I work for 3 to 4 years, and then I have to do sales, finance, HR, accounting, all the duty, and then my partner doing the operation and IT. My co-founder, his name is Jeff Yu, and he's very good in the software engineer. The first thing is just a trial, because we're very small. We only 2-man's shop. I have to go out to see the customer because our target audience is solar installer and retailer. I have to knock on the door and then check do we have an opportunity to become your partners. I think I have been doing this for first half a year. And then we're starting to get the first batch of customers. I really appreciate the first batch of customers supporting us. First year of the business, the turnover is 6.5 million in Perth. It's a very good number, and also it's very encouraging. And that's why I opened the second branch in Adelaide. And then no matter how much I make, I will still put the money in the company to start up in the second branch. Then we do Brisbane after Adelaide, and then we spread into Melbourne. 2 years ago, we start Sydney as in the full cycle of the whole journey. We have 135 employees at the moment. Last financial year, we are rewarding as 512 million in the revenue here. We classify us as a Tier 1 solar distributor. In the Tier 1 area, we don't have a competitor. Our competitor is ourselves. We think we will not stop in growing. We still will be growing year by year. To me, our mission and vision to escalate the energy transformation to sustainable energy have been fulfilled my passion and dreams, and we can make an effort for Australia to have a clear and green energy, and we can make an environment better.
He's gone from strength to strength, hasn't he? Congratulations, Anson Zhang of One Stop Warehouse. All right, I now invite all of our finalists in this wonderful category to come to the stage. And how about a round of applause for all of the nominees in the Henry Nay Medium to Large Business category. And thank you so much once again to Mr. Joseph Asif. First of all, we congratulate Mr. Ken Thang Lam. Now we honour Mr. Maha Magable. Our warm congratulations to Mr. Joseph Cromie, OAM. Thank you so much for being with us tonight, sir. What a remarkable Australian. And now we celebrate and congratulate Mr. Anson Zhang. Look, I don't know about any of you, but my heart is so big, it's just about bursting out of my chest. What extraordinary stories tonight. How about a round of applause for all of our incredible finalists? And a huge thank you to Arab Bank Australia for once again supporting the Ethnic Business Awards as we head into our 33rd year. Round of applause for that. Look, thank you all so much for being such a wonderful, lovely, attentive audience. We're going to take a 30-minute break for dinner, so enjoy your dinner, talk about the wonderful stories, and I'll see you in half an hour for the winners.
Please welcome back to the stage, Tracy Spicer.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. It has been a simply spectacular evening of insights and stories. But now we have a very special moment for you. It is my great pleasure to join Joseph Asif in announcing the inception of a brand new award. One that's been created to recognise the extraordinary contributions that businesses make, not only to their local communities, but to Australia as a whole and, just as importantly, to the rest of the world, especially in their countries of origin. Joseph, would you like to take the stage?
No one embodied those principles more than our champion of champions, the late, the great Henry Nye.
I am Henry Nye. My company name ABC Tissue Product Pty Limited. My business is tissue paper. We're using the best fiber to make the best tissue. You cannot trick your customer. You have to provide the best quality. I do the charity work. For example, in Australia, when they have fire, flooding, strong wind, we all donate money, 100,000 at the time, or 50,000 minimum. And I find a lot of old people, they have the cataract, and then I help the cataract people free of charge to do the operation. Up to now, in Cambodia, I help more than 30,000. In China, I help about 8,000 to 9,000. Then I start to help buy the hearing aid. I already commit to donate 260,000 pieces of hearing aid. When I put the hearing aid for them, they cry. They cry. Not only him or her, their children also cry because they can call mom or dad, something like that. When I was young, my father bring me in together with him to do business. I learned from him. And then also when he do the charity work, volunteer job, I also do together with him. That's what I learned from him. I am bringing my children to go to do the volunteer work together with me. I teach them must look after People need it. If we are available in financial, we must help them.
The Global Harmony Award is inspired by Henry Ney's philanthropy and vision. It is a recognition of the kind of generosity and social awareness that can be bred by success and which is such an important component of the bridges that we build to the world. The EBA, or at the EBA Foundation, we felt that this accolade should, in its first instance, be awarded posthumously to Henry himself, in recognition not only of his own generosity, but also of the continuation of his good works by his son, Sonny Ney, and his family's company, ABC Tissue. They continue to provide a generous medical and social support to thousands of people in China, as well as to the broader community here in Australia. I'm sure Sonny will be delighted to accept this award in his father's place, and we are sure that he will continue to be a good role model to other migrants, and as part of his company's ongoing commitment to philanthropy and social equity, help us to decide on many more recipients in the years to come. We need future great ambassadors of a global harmony.
Well put, Joseph. Thank you so much. It's now time to invite Prime Minister Scott Morrison to the stage to present this award. And while we're at it, let's also welcome Sonny Ney to accept this first Ethnic Business Awards Foundation Global Harmony Award on behalf of the late Henry Ney.
Well, thank you. Joseph has asked me to say a few quick words. Sonny, and to the Ney family, what this award I think most captures is something that has struck me and Jenny, and I'm sure many of my colleagues across the aisle who are here with me tonight, has been such a theme of the success of Australians who've come from so many different backgrounds and found what they came to seek here in Australia. And they've felt incredibly blessed by this country and the opportunities they've had. But they have made those opportunities a reality for themselves. And their humility is something that compels them to invest back into community. What your family has been able to achieve wasn't just for your family. And the leadership of your late father and husband was such an inspiration, I think, to so many. I remember meeting him at one of these events many years ago, and has set the tone, I think, of these nights, Joseph, which is such incredible stories. But I've got to tell you, what touches me every time is the humility that comes with it, and the willingness to, having been blessed, to be a blessing to others. And I want to thank you, because there's nothing more Australian than that. Thank you.
Thank you, Joseph, and Prime Ministers, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank Australia for giving my fathers and my family the opportunity to achieve and fulfill our dreams. Australia has been very kind to our family. It has given us, as migrants, all the ingredients that lead to the success of our business, and along the way have actually shown us enormous generosities, which actually inspire us, our family, to do the same. And I'm actually very grateful to my father as well, because he has actually drawn up the plan for us and also brought us along the journey. His philosophy have no boundaries, neither geographical or monetary. My father always used to thank Australians and everyone who support our business, buying our products that enable us to give back in return to help other people in need. And he has set a great example for myself and my sisters to follow. And thank you very much, Joseph, for the Global Harmony Award. I gladly accept it on behalf of my fathers, and we will continue to honor his work and help other people both here and abroad. And also, I would like to thank you, Tracy, for running such a great ceremony for everyone and doing such a good job as well. Thank you.
Wow, ladies and gentlemen, the Global Harmony Award. And what a wonderful recipient for its very first year. Thank you for those moving words, Sonny. Your father and your husband was an absolutely fantastic man. How about another round of applause? Just beautiful, what the awards are all about, right? And now, the moment you, me, and everyone at the Ethnic Business Awards Foundation has been waiting for. The announcement of the recipients of the 32nd Ethnic Business Awards. To present the prizes to the winners in each category, we have Mr. Joseph Rizk of Arab Bank Australia presenting cheques for $10,000 and Minister Ken Wyatt presenting our exquisite crystal trophies. So, without any more from me, let's turn our attention to the first category in tonight's awards, Excellence in Indigenous Business. To say a few words, please welcome to the stage the Honourable Ken Wyatt, Minister for Indigenous Australians.
Thank you, Tracy. I want to acknowledge all distinguished guests here tonight, but I want to also acknowledge the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation, the elders past and present. When Joseph began to recognise Indigenous businesses in his awards, he came and saw me and he asked me if I would present the first set of awards. And he wanted to do it because he saw the entrepreneurship in Indigenous Australians who'd started their own businesses. He recognised the commitment that they had given to endeavour to establish a pathway that would give them the capacity and opportunity to be successful, not only in their business, but to contribute to the economy and to the employment of Indigenous Australians. And our government has embarked on a very ambitious program of a roadmap for skills development, wealth creation, but the opportunity to build a base, because we know that Aboriginal businesses employ our own people, as well as in non-Indigenous Australians who have the skills that make up the foundation for a successful business. Tonight you saw 4 incredible businesses. That's only the tip of the iceberg. I had the privilege of seeing so many businesses that are flourishing. And what staggers me is the number of Indigenous women who have developed their own opportunities and received the support that takes them forward. And that is now passing on through to their children. And we have a great future in this nation. Diversity is one of the best things we have. It's not only amongst multicultural people. In Aboriginal society, there are 250 different language groups across this geographic nation of ours, and that diversity is seeing people flourish. Tonight was a classic example of 4 companies, 4 businesses that are emerging as powerhouses and will play a critical role. Joseph, I really want to thank you for your belief in our people, for the contribution you've made in ensuring that they're recognised within your awards, and I thank you for that.
Thank you, Minister White, for those eloquent words and saying how many thriving Indigenous businesses there are. That is tremendous. Now, in no particular order, I'm going to remind you of the nominees for the Excellence in Indigenous Business Award. They are Swell Specialised Welding and Engineering, MOEC, Marrawah Law and DICE. It's a good thing I'm not one of the judges because to me, all of the nominees are winners. Minister White, take it away.
Thank you, Tracy. And the winner of the Indigenous Business Award is Ray Pratt, DICE.
What a wonderful, wonderful winner. And a renter man from Berrima in the Northern Territory, Mr Ray Pratt, Director of DICE. Remember, it's a national electrical, smart energy and construction business that's bringing smart energy to some of the most remote parts of this wide brown land. Congratulations, well done.
Thank you. What an incredible honour. I'm a little emotional and a little shaky. To start with, I would also like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land that we're gathered on here this evening, the Gadigal of the Eora Nations, and pay my respects to the elders past, present and emerging. I'd like to thank the sponsors who make the evenings like this possible. We've been very spoilt, and I'd like to recognise the Prime Minister and the other dignitaries in the room tonight, and the judges who seem to have an impossible job, the EBA team and of course Joseph. Thank you for creating an awards night like this, just recognising the inspirational people that have travelled here and against the odds, created amazing businesses and enhanced our multicultural society. And I'm literally a product of our multicultural society. I'm proud to be Chinese, Timorese, Portuguese, and on a night like tonight, I'm especially proud of my Western Aranda heritage, and I'm proud to stand here and call myself an Aboriginal man. Thank you for creating such an incredible platform. It's got a massive reach, and to recognise and celebrate the strength of Indigenous enterprise in the form that it takes today. And congratulations to all the finalists, and I'm beyond proud to be in the same company. I'd especially like to recognise the other businesses in my category. I know them all well. The people in the companies are held in such high regard, and the way they create opportunities for others and create hope for so many Indigenous people motivates and inspires me. It's part of me to stay true to the vision of my company, which is to empower communities and empower people. Empowering communities and empowering people is made possible for DICE off the back of our incredible team. I want to thank each and every one of them for the effort and especially the time that they put in. And it's their dedication that makes what we do possible, and I'm extremely proud and grateful that they choose to be on the journey together. And before my final thank yous, I'd like to just do a quick shout out to some of the Indigenous organisations that have helped us along the way, such as AMI, Yilirang Aboriginal Housing Corporation, Supply Nation, IBA, NTIBN, and a shout out for the Northern Territory Government as well. They've given us a lot of opportunities. There's a lot of opportunity up in NT, and I'm grateful for that too. And a special shout out for my mum. She probably isn't recognised enough, and as her strength and resilience and helping me study to get through tech school, to help me, it's a large part of why I can be standing here tonight. That, and she's got the kids too. So, and finally, I'd like to thank my wife and 3 beautiful children. Joe, thank you for believing in me. You're the most incredible person I know, and with you by my side, I feel like anything is achievable. And to Tom, Archie and Jazz, our beautiful children, I love you. And if you're still awake, those are happy tears that Nana has. It's probably time to go to bed, so thank you.
Oh boy, congratulations Ray Pratt on your brilliant business success. Thank you for thanking your mum, thank you for thanking your wife and your family. That's what it's all about, family and business mixed together. And for speaking about your background, because that reflects the beautiful tapestry that we're celebrating here tonight. Thank you for sharing your journey, and welcome to the Ethnic Business Awards Alumni Network. Ray Pratt. And in fact, while we're at it, let's extend congratulations to all of this year's Excellence in Indigenous Business finalists. They're all phenomenal. Okay, the next award is the Small Business category. To qualify as a nominee, businesses have to have been in operation for more than 3 years and have a turnover under $10 million a year. To present this award this evening, please welcome Minister for Immigration, Citizenship, Migrant Services and Multicultural Affairs, the Honourable Alex Hawke.
Well, thank you, Tracy. Thank you, Joe. And to all of you, I also join with my colleagues in acknowledging the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation. And it's always a special privilege to follow my colleague, the first Aboriginal Minister for Indigenous Affairs as well. Tonight, I've got to say, as an Immigration Minister, awarding the Small Business Award is perhaps the greatest privilege, because for our great migrants that come here from all over the world, the 300 cultures we've been able to integrate successfully, they come here most often for the opportunity that they've spoken about, the freedom, the fairness, the safety, but it's the small business that is the actual vehicle for most families to improve their lives and change their destinies. And when you think about it, we've had about a third of our country born overseas, actually born overseas. 7.6 million people out of 25 million were born in another country. It's a lot of people. And when they come here, we ask them, and when they set up their businesses, we ask them, what did you find when you came here? What were your skills when you came here? And we know that most of them never were able to start or own their own business in their country of origin. 83% never owned or operated a business before. So when they come here, they find this country offers and affords that opportunity. When we talk about the reality of it, we allow ownership and the ability to start your own enterprise, to run it successfully, and to make something of yourself and your family. And those great small businesses, these migrant businesses all over our country, people are employing, they're creating, but they're also investing in their own families' futures. That's how they afford the education fees for the next generations. It's how they make good. And when you look at these small business recipients tonight, you see the great countries, the waves of migration that have joined us. So you've got Greece, of course, like my own family. You had Lebanon in there. You have, Zoran, I think, he brought Libya, Yugoslavia, Croatia and Serbia He's doing a lot for multiculturalism in Australia, Zoran, I have to say, wherever you are. And, but really you see where we've sourced all of our countries of origin migrants. So tonight it's a real privilege as Minister for Immigration. I think the Prime Minister is right. We are the most successful multicultural country in the world. We successfully integrate more people from more backgrounds than anywhere else in the world, any other country. We should be proud of it. I know you are all proud of it. And I'm so proud of these small business owners tonight because running a small business is hard, running a small and family business is so critical, and all of these people during a very difficult 2 years have done so well in their achievement, and I want to thank all of you who run a business here tonight, who've put back, those small and family businesses, put so much back into those communities all around Australia at a very difficult time for them. And as a government, we thank each and every one of you for the hard work that you put into those small and family businesses. So thank you, Joe, for your great vision 32 years ago, and thank you for the vision in recognising, in particular, small and family business.
Thank you so much, Minister, for your wise words. Now, to recap the nominees in the small business category, they are Old Time Bakery, Healthy Smiles Dental Group, Exclusive Business Sales, and DSK Kitchen and Furniture. Again, all deserving winners. Minister Hawke, let's not keep them in suspense any longer.
Well, thank you, Tracy. I am privileged to announce the winner of this award. And we started this morning, the Prime Minister and I, we have the Foreign Minister, I'm going to give this away, of India in the country, Minister Jaishankar. So I'm happy to announce the winner of the Small Business Award is Dr. Ved Bharani, the Healthy Smiles Dental Group.
There are smiles all round with Ved Bharani, as you would remember. He's the founder and principal dentist of Healthy Smiles Dental Group in Blackburn, Melbourne in Victoria. A company that specialises in high-quality services, and you would have remembered from earlier the incredible invention of sleep dentistry. I think we all need to go and experience that. It sounds absolutely fantastic. Congratulations, well done. Ved Bharani.
This is incredible for two reasons. One, I was nervous all night that if I ever end up on stage, I have nothing written up. So I really don't know what to say because I haven't got anything on me. But I'd like to thank, obviously, Joseph for giving me this opportunity. It is incredible, and his hospitality has been absolutely filled with love and passion. So thank you so much. And EBA Foundation, thank you for this opportunity. And our Prime Minister, thank you for being here, and all our dignitaries, guests. I must say that, and I'll speak from the heart here because I don't know what to say, is when I came here in 2001 as a student, there was a time in my life where I was outside my university and I had $5 in my pocket, and I had a choice of either putting some fuel in my car or getting some dinner from a local store. But I put some fuel and went home, and I went home hungry that night. And that's the story I told my son one day, and he said, "Dad, you know, if you did that, you know, you're my role model and I want to be like you." So I already won. And obviously, I can't. I thank my team for helping me become what I am today. Our organization. Developing this unique dental practice, which obviously a dentist can never win an award. Everybody hates the dentist, right? But I got up here because of them, so thank you very much to all of them back home in Melbourne. Hopefully they're watching. My wife, who has been by my side, she's a co-founder of the business, so she deserves equal, if not more, in this award. So thank you, Priyanka. My children, who one is back home, he has a formal tonight, so he didn't want to come to Sydney. His first formal is VCE here. And my two daughters who are in India at the moment, and they go to a boarding school, and I miss them very much. So thank you for always being there for us. Have I missed something? Again, thank you very much and appreciate it.
Oh, Dr. Ved Bharati, you are extraordinary. It's been such a delight to meet you tonight and an honour to hear your incredible story. Isn't it lovely that he's so humble, he didn't organise a speech, he didn't think he was going to win, and said some beautiful, eloquent words from the heart. Thank you so much, Ved Bharati, for sharing your story with us, and your congratulations on your huge business success. Ved Bharati.
Just one more
Yes,
minute.
of course.
Thank you. Sorry, I didn't expect this either. So I'd like to actually donate this entire amount to an organisation called Sikh Volunteer Service in Melbourne that provide free meals to the all of the community without discrimination, and they deliver these food services day in, day out. During the pandemic, we supported them, and we're very proud to be part of that organisation. So this goes to them directly, all of them. Thank you.
Ved, thank you so much for your generosity. That's what the Ethnic Business Awards are all about. What a phenomenal gesture. We've come to the time in the evening where we present the Ethnic Business Awards Foundation's final category, the Henry Ney Medium to Large Business category. This award celebrates the success of companies with an average turnover in excess of $10 million per annum. This award has been named in honour of Henry K. Shing Ney, OAM. As we've already heard, he was a gentleman, a giant in the business world, an amazing philanthropist who gave back to communities, both here and overseas. To present this award this evening, let's welcome the Honourable Mr. Anthony Albanese, Leader of the Opposition.
Well, thanks very much, Tracy. I begin by acknowledging the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation and pay my respect to their elders, past, present and emerging, and recommit on behalf of the Labor Party to the implementation of the Uluru Statement from the Heart in full, including a voice enshrined in our national constitution. I acknowledge Prime Minister Scott Morrison, Ministers Hawke and Wyatt, my Shadow Minister Tony Burke, former Prime Minister Tony Abbott, and I do want to acknowledge the fact that Tony continues to contribute to the community, not the least of which is through his participation here. Former Governor-General Peter Cosgrove, and a big thank you to Joseph and Angela, our hosts here tonight, two extraordinary figures. I've been coming to this event since 1995 when I first met Joseph, whose business was located in my electorate in the inner west of Sydney. And I've missed, I think, two maybe since then, apart from the ones that were restricted, of course, with COVID. This is a great event. It's a great event because it showcases our greatest strength. Our greatest strength as a nation is when we come together. Our greatest strength is our people. Whilst we have great natural assets, it's the people who either have inhabited this land as part of the oldest continuous civilisation on the planet, or those people who've either come here themselves as migrants or who are the descendants. It is our human resources which are our greatest asset, and we are at our best when we are together. And this is bringing such a diverse group together here. As Joseph said, put it tonight, made a little note, no harmony without diversity, and not a truer word was said. I myself am proud to stand here tonight as someone who is half Italian. One of the reasons why I come to this event is to get energy. I find it incredibly uplifting to watch the extraordinary stories of people who've come to this country, like Joseph did, with not much. Whether they be people who've arrived on a boat or people who've fled persecution, people who've come here and built extraordinary success stories and contributed through creating businesses which are successful, employing people, creating economic activity, and in so many cases, just as we saw just then, are generous in giving back to the community which has helped them. So I find the people here very inspirational. I do want to say that we're a better country because of every one of the nominees who have been honoured tonight by the nomination. I'm sure that we have a better future around the corner, a better future post-COVID. It's been a tough couple of years for everyone. But businesses that have managed to survive through COVID, through resilience, dip into their savings, I know that many of the ethnic businesses in my electorate and right around the country have done that. Those businesses are going to thrive and be more successful as we emerge from the current difficulties. And I look forward to watching that happen. I look forward to coming back here in future years as well and continuing to be inspired. Thank you.
Well put. Thank you so much, Mr Albanese. Okay, now it's time to announce the final award for the evening, the Henry Ney Medium to Large Business category. And a reminder, the 4 finalists in this category are the JAC Group and Joseph Cromie Wines, Blue Star Air Conditioning, Easy Mart, and One Stop Warehouse, all stunning businesses with incredibly moving stories. Take it away.
I think we'd all agree that they're all 4 are winners, but the official winner tonight is Joseph Cromie, OA.
Well, what a superb winner tonight. Joseph Cromie. You'll remember Joseph escaped the former Czechoslovakia. He's the founding director of the JAC Group and Joseph Cromie Wines based in Launceston, Tasmania. Our huge congratulations go to the JAC Group and Joseph Cromie Wines. Joseph's grandson will make the speech and say a few words on his behalf. Thank you.
I am happy. Happy. And don't go speaking, I go strike. I have some grandson speak before me. Yeah.
That's okay, Joe. You stay here a bit. Prime Minister, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Joe has asked me to congratulate all the finalists here tonight because they've all achieved so much, and it's wonderful to hear their stories. He's also asked me to thank Joseph in particular for putting on these awards, and the Ethnic Business Association's board, and the judges and the sponsors for putting on such a magnificent event. It's wonderful. You would have seen the video earlier, but before I go into that, there was one other thing, and that is that Joe has also told me here tonight that if he were to be successful, that he'd like to donate the $10,000 prize, but also much more than that, to the Migrant Centre, the Migrant Resource Centre that basically helps migrants to find their feet when they come to Australia. And so I think that's a wonderful thing. So thank you for that, Joe, gesture. As you may have seen from the video, Joseph grew up from the age of 8 to 19 under 11 years of Nazi and Soviet oppression. For many people, we often forget that back in the 1945 that the Second World War had been ended with nuclear weapons. And so in Central Europe, when the Cold War developed between the Soviet Union and Russia and the US, many people in Europe were concerned that there was an imminent Third World War involving nuclear weapons. They'd heard about what happened in Japan, and it was a horrific future. On top of that, when Joe was growing up through communism, he had a dream. He was a qualified butcher at 16 and a master butcher and small goods maker by the age of 19. He dreamed of owning his own business, as his father had done before he lost his business in the Great Depression. But under communism, it was against the law to own your own business. You could not own a butcher shop, a barber or a taxi. And the oppression of communism was so much that Joe saw no future, nuclear war, no opportunity, and so he decided to escape with two of his best friends. And they crossed the Czech-Austrian border, across barbed wire and soldiers patrolling with dogs, and they got to the Pfaffendorf railway station in Russian-occupied Austria. But his two friends were captured. One was shot in the legs trying to run away, shot in the legs by a machine gun. The other one he never heard from again, presumed killed. Joe, fortunately, was able to get a ticket and to board the train. And then the authorities were going through the train, and so he stepped off the platform and walked back up the platform and then reboarded the train further up to avoid the Russian authorities that were going through the carriages. And he only had his ticket, but he couldn't speak German, so if he spoke, he would be captured. And so, Joe, what did you do?
Oh, put the ticket here and pretend sleeping.
So you put the ticket in your breast pocket and you pretended to be asleep, yeah.
That's a culture.
You're thinking the conductor, yeah. Very good.
Up here.
Yes, but the conductor didn't just come along and clip the ticket, he shook you awake. So what happened then when he shook you awake, Joe?
Oh, I think I gone. Yeah, my friend gone, I will be gone. Check mine here.
So Joe pretended to be deaf and dumb. It just came to him, and ever since that day, he's always said in business, whenever we're doing a deal, okay, and what's the second option?
Yeah.
But so Joe made his way through Russian-occupied Austria to the US zone, to Linz. There's a whole story of avoiding the authorities along the way, but eventually he made his way to the US area, and they gave him his papers as a political refugee because if he was sent back to Czech, he would be persecuted. And he hadn't even been able to tell his family that he was escaping, because if they had known and the authorities had found out, that they would also persecute his family, and it would be 20 years before he would see his family again after escaping. He didn't know. He didn't know if communism would last for 10 years or 100 years. But when you were in Austria, Joe, they gave you the opportunity to go to Canada or USA and New Zealand and Australia. Why did you pick Australia?
I needed to check serious thinking my home.
Where's your home going to be?
Yeah. Australia and Tasmania.
Yeah, okay. But Joe, you've told me that really you thought that as a businessman, the US, there'd be too much competition. And so you needed to go to a new country, a fresh country, and that's why you came to Australia and then Tasmania. You've already seen the story, lots of wine businesses, Heemskerk, Jant Sparkling, Tamar Ridge Wines, largest winery in Tasmania, and then finally Joseph Cromie Wines, and lots of property development. But ultimately, Joe has just lived a wonderful life in Australia. And do you have any finishing words, Joe? Because we've probably spoken a little too long. Yeah, okay. You just want to say a thank you, I think. Thank you to everybody.
Very good. Thank you for everything. I come here and bigger up through immigrant.
Very proud to be a true immigrant and to have a beautiful country like Australia. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Well, what an absolutely ripping yarn, from escaping Czechoslovakia to producing the best Chardonnay in the world from Tasmania, Australia. Give it up and give huge congratulations to the extraordinary Joseph Cromie, OAM. Such a deserving winner, one that reflects the vitality of business in Australia, really is represented by all of our nominees and finalists. How about another round of applause for all of our finalists? It has been an absolutely wonderful evening, made all the more enjoyable by your presence. Please join me in congratulating everyone who worked so hard to bring together tonight, as well as the nominees and finalists. Their businesses help make Australia the successful nation it is, and their stories keep us inspired. They make me proud, and I know they make our host Joseph Asaf, the founder of the awards, proud too. He came to this country wearing someone else's shoes, and for the past 32 years he's shared that experience with us through an awards ceremony where we too get to walk in someone else's shoes and share in their amazing stories. Joseph really, when you think about it, has dedicated his life to celebrating diversity and the power of business to build community networks throughout Australia and the world. So please join me in thanking Mr. Joseph Asaf, his wonderful wife Angela, and the superb Asaf family. They really are amazing. And thanks to all of you for coming tonight, because you are what makes the Ethnic Business Awards so special and continuing after all these decades. Give yourselves a round of applause. Thank you once again to our sponsors, Joseph Asaf and the team at the Ethnic Business Awards Foundation, Dar Group, Ethan Group, ABC Tissue Products, Zadco, Arab Bank Australia, Living Gems Lifestyle Resort, Allspec, Divest Healthcare, International Livestock Export, the Australian Government Department of Home Affairs, the National Indigenous Australians Agency, Nexia Australia, Bruce Clay Australia and the lovely Four Seasons Hotel Sydney. Thank you to all of our sponsors and thank you all for joining us to celebrate the Ethnic Business Awards Foundation's celebration of diversity. These stories are being televised, streamed and reported across Australia and the world actually by our broadcast and media partners. I'd like to thank them all again. SBS, the Australian multicultural and multilingual broadcaster, has been covering these awards since 1988. National Indigenous Television Network, the Aurora Community Channel, Google, Chuzhong, the Sunrise Daily newspaper, El Telegraph, 1688 Chinese newspaper group, Neos Cosmos, Top Media Group and Media Today Group. Everyone, please join me in offering a big thank you to all of our sponsors. And to you, and everyone watching from the Four Seasons Hotel in Sydney and the 32nd Ethnic Business Awards, thank you from Joseph Asif and his team at the Foundation. Thank you and have a beautiful night. Bye-bye for now.